Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where uh, uh, in the world you are joining from. Welcome to the International Youth Day 2025 International Innovation Collaboratory. I'm Luna Lu, the Senior Innovation Officer for the Center for Global Learning and Innovation at Michigan State University. This year, we are thrilled to bring together young changemakers, educators, and global leaders to celebrate youth innovation and collaboration in global learning. Our Innovation Collaboratory is a vibrant platform designed to elevate youth voice, encourage intercultural collaboration, and explore how young people are shaping the future of education across boundaries. This year, the theme, Youth and the Future of Global Learning, highlight the powerful way youth are creating inclusive, accessible, and innovative education experience worldwide. From reimagining traditional classroom to bridging informal and formal learning space, youth are redefining what is meant to a learning and teaching in connected world. To begin our celebration, we are delighted to present a special video featuring youth voice. In this video, young leaders share their insights on how global learning and youth-led initiatives are driving meaningful change. Please enjoy the inspiring video.
Hi everyone, my name is Jordan Cleland and I am a new Global Learning Coordinator at Michigan State University's Office for Education Abroad, situated in our new Center for Global Learning and Innovation.
My name is James. I'm a graduate student in Biosystems Engineering at Michigan State University.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Antolini and I have just defended my dissertation on the Information and Media program.
My name is Nolan Rohusky and I'm currently a master's student here at MSU in the German Studies program.
Hi everyone, my name is Ladis and I'm excited to be one of this year's youth coordinators.
For me, global learning could mean many different things, but stepping outside your own bubble, whether that's through study abroad, learning a new language, or just having conversations with people from different backgrounds and cultures.
I think youth are one of the major driving forces in global learning, and due to technology, I think many of us are passionate to learn from one another, creating a world where we save space for our individual and unique identities, but celebrate others' experiences and knowledge as well.
Presents how youth around the world can truly leverage globalization, not only as a trend, but as a tool to drive real positive change.
As a budding researcher, I believe we can drive change in learning by embracing interdisciplinary thinking, open collaboration, and purpose-driven innovation. Learning in today's age must go beyond memorization. It should empower curiosity, creativity, and real-world impact.
Youth is using social media platforms with such inspiring and innovative ways to do so. I think that's a really interesting point, and I hope to discuss it more and learn more about it with you.
Questioning how we connect, how we prioritize, and who gets to be at the table. They're questioning outdated systems and coming up with new creative ways to collaborate across borders and with other people. We continue making space for that kind of innovation. I think we're in really good hands.
I would personally like to learn more about how youth worldwide can harness technology sustainably and ethically to make global learning a priority in every school, making societies more tolerant globally.
Young people are not just future leaders, they are catalysts, and they are shaping a learning culture that is more responsive, equitable, and globally connected.
Ultimately, no matter where you're from or where you are, you have something powerful to contribute to shaping our future. I look forward to connecting with you all.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of the International Youth Day event, and I look forward to seeing you all there.
So thank you for having me as a youth group coordinator, and let's get ready to dive in.
I always love to see this video. Now it's my honor to introduce our opening speaker, Professor Mita Chugar, Assistant Dean of International Studies in Education and Director of the Office of International Studies in Education at Michigan State University. Dr. Chugar has been a champion for equitable and inclusive education globally, and her work reflects the transformative impact of global cross-cultural learning and youth engagement. Please join me in welcoming Mita for our opening remarks.
Thank you so much, Luna, and greetings to you all, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's a pleasure for me to be here. So at events like this, it is customary to introduce a speaker, and you just heard an introduction of myself. But today, I want to begin by introducing you, all of you who are present here in this virtual space. You represent dozens of countries. You speak countless languages. You bring with you a remarkable range of skills. You on this call, you are volunteers, you are mentors, you are teachers, you are innovators, you are leaders, founders, entrepreneurs. And each of you are working on pressing questions in education, in health, in sanitation, finance, politics, just to name a few. And across your work, what I see is a deep sense of care and commitment to the communities you serve. You are the architects of our future, and I am honored to be in your company. So as I was preparing for this talk today, I looked over the presentations that will be shared later, and I was truly inspired, and I was struck by how much attention you were paying to issues of grassroots, local, and community-focused solutions. And this made me think once again and reflect on what we mean by global in this phrase, global learning through youth-led initiatives, which is a central theme for us today. And we heard some ideas of what global means. We often associate global with moving across national boundaries, and that is certainly important. But as I reflect on global, I don't think that is all it means. I think global means also something much more simple and far more profound, which is simply noticing what lies beyond what is immediate in our surroundings, what is our comfort zone. It means listening with curiosity to lives that are different from our own. It means reaching across boundaries of geography, language, experience, so that we can grow together. In a way, global is perhaps to recognize our collective humanity and act on the aspiration that we all share for something better, something brighter for us all in our future. So right now, I'm in the middle of reading a very inspiring book by Professor and Dr. Ibrahim Verghese. Dr. Verghese, he's a physician and a professor of medicine at Stanford University here in the United States. Now, Dr. Verghese was born in Ethiopia to Indian parents, and he received his medical training both in India and the United States. So what is impressive about him is that in addition to being an accomplished medical doctor, he's also a highly regarded author, and he writes books and novels. His stories, perhaps reflecting his own journey, span countries and continents. Yet the book that I'm reading, one of his books that has touched me the most, the book is called My Own Country, is set in just one single corner of rural United States. So in the late 1980s, where the book is set, during the heights of the AIDS epidemic, Dr. Verghese began his medical practice in Eastern Tennessee, a very small, corner section of the United States. He was an outsider in so many ways, by race, by accent, by background. And yet, through his work, he began to form deep human connections across boundaries that might have felt initially insurmountable. And so in this book that I'm reading, and I'm so touched by my own country, Dr. Verghese writes not just about the illness and his work as a medical practitioner, but about this recognition of our shared fears, of our dignity, of the quiet human need to connect, to be seen. And he came to this community, he was a trained physician, but he did not come with answers. He did not come to fix or rescue. He came to listen, he came to learn, and very importantly, he came to allow himself to be changed. And this is, to me, I think, the real question. How willing are we to let someone else's story touch us and change us? And to me, perhaps that's what global truly means. Not where you're from, how far you've traveled, but how open we are to entering someone else's experience, how curious we are to explore others' convictions. To be global, then, is to listen, to connect across accents, cultures, assumptions with respect and openness. Now, technology is going to make all of this boundary spanning work much easier for you all. And here we are today from all over the world. But ultimately, this work it's not just platforms and tools, it's going to need you. It's going to need your vision, it's going to need your energy, it's going to need your commitment. Global work is more than passports and airports, though they help, but that's not all, right? It requires presence and purpose and connection. So, as I conclude, let me leave you all with just one request or a thought. As you spend this few hours together today, look around the virtual room. Look at the mentors, the volunteers, the innovators, the teachers, the leaders, the founders, and the entrepreneurs amongst you and around you. Tell them your stories, but importantly, listen to theirs. And if possible, try and leave here with at least one new connection, one new idea, one possibility that was maybe previously unfamiliar to you. You just never know where it might take you. So thank you for your time. I wish you the best on your journey in this familiar and unfamiliar spaces as you listen, connect, change, and grow. I really appreciate spending these few moments with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rita. This is wonderful. Just echo your words. We invite you to engage, ask questions, or connect with other participants as we move through the presentation, discussions, and professional development sessions. Now let's embark on our exciting journey on our presentation and professional development panels. Welcome back. Hope you all had a good discussion in your breakout rooms. And now prepare yourself for a milestone. We call this session as Ignite Youth Creativity. Our facilitator for today is Adele Dingludine, a youth ambassador with Global Youth Advancement Network. And she's a senior at Michigan State University studying advertisement and management. Adele, it's your time.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining our interactive session. Okay, I think I'm going to get started and people can join as we go. But our first question is, what is one word you would use to describe the future of youth and global learning? So in this instance, our definition of youth is going to be 18 to 25-year-olds. And yeah, so please write your responses. It looks like we're seeing a lot of things like empowered, connectivity, inclusive, exciting, hopeful. Throughout the session, also feel free to unmute and share maybe a little bit more about one of your responses. Yeah. Okay, it looks like we got a majority of the responses. Again, it looks like hopeful, inclusive, insightful are all big words, so that's awesome. Let's move on to our next question, which is, what resource do you think is the most important for fostering future global learning? So we have cultural exchange, education/curriculum, social media/internet, and then government/policy. So it looks like cultural exchange is our first response. Would anyone who picked that as an answer like to unmute and share why they think that is the most important?
I selected cultural exchange because I feel like if you're going to amplify global voices, we have to understand different cultures, because we live in a world where we have very many different cultures. And if we understand the root of our culture, then we are able to push for innovations and solutions that are for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anyone else, or maybe someone who selected government/policy? Would anyone want to maybe defend why they think that that is the most important?
I did cultural exchange first and then government the second. But I do believe for cultural exchange, because exposure to different like traditions, values, and ways of thinking kind of will help like learners and people to see beyond your own cultural like framework. And this is like there's also like challenging stereotypes that say, for example, for different cultures. So I feel like learning about different cultures and knowing where you're going through, like going to, will help you a lot, and it would like foster like global learning more.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Would anyone else like to share too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to really talk about government and policy because if you fix the people and you don't fix the government, I believe you end up fixing nothing because government makes policies and introduce programs, and a single bad government policy can destroy anybody's effort in whatever guys, whether in education or even social media. Government can also introduce policies that will restrict social media use. So yeah, government and policy is really, really important in this conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. We also have social media and education on here, if anyone would like to talk about that as well.
Let me talk a bit on let me talk a bit on social media. So for me, I think that is first because we're in such a globally connected world today. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, we're in such a globally connected world today, and the influence of social media is so much that when young people see stuff online, they take it as the final. And I feel like that can be leveraged, that influence of social media can be leveraged to actually share things beyond the classroom for me. The education of the future, for me personally, I feel it goes beyond the classroom. So that's why I think social media plays such a critical role. We just need to know how to harness it and handle it for the right thing.
Yeah, it sounds like someone else is trying to talk as well. Would they like to go? Okay, well, thank you all for your responses and everything you shared. I think we'll move on to our last question here. Again, feel free to jump in at any time. Okay, so what do you think are the largest barriers that prevent youth participating in global learning?
Yeah, the youth are not given the space or are not given the room to get involved or participate in global issues concerning the youth by those holding various positions today. So there's no access for the youth. Another issue is also lack of finances. Lack of finances where they, there's no finance for which is put in place or a strategic finance that is put in place to help the youth who have the knowledge to be as entrepreneur in the various locality, those who have the ideology of creating a company or creating a small business where they can also help other youth. So there's a problem of finance and lack of access. That's also another issue.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing access, lack of finances. I'm also seeing stereotypes and prejudice in here, lack of awareness, inequality. If anyone would like to jump in and talk more about those or what they wrote.
Adele, you have two people with their hands up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see that. Please let them go.
And Manseban.
Okay. Okay, I wrote lack of awareness as well as lack of resources because I feel like when the youth are not aware about the opportunities that are available for global learning,
then they cannot participate. So it's first begins with being aware that, oh, there's such opportunities about global learning, and you see that, oh, this is how it benefits me. So we need to create awareness first, and then lack of resources, because to participate in global learning, you need resources like, for instance, data, Wi-Fi, all those resources that will enable you to meaningfully engage and participate. And in most of our countries, you find that data is quite expensive and Wi-Fi is not readily available. Hence, this means that we're still excluding certain youth from participating in global learning. I'm just speaking to that girl in a rural place where there's no access to all of this. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I saw Yana's hands was raised. Yana, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to add, I completely agree that the lack of access to resources and the lack of awareness is preventing youth. But also, as a youth myself, even after you have the resources and you have the awareness, a lot of the people I see around me, they would not participate in global learning because they don't see the potential that global learning has to benefiting themselves and their future, because sometimes we're very career focused or we're very narrow minded. So we don't see the potential in how the learning that we do can actually impact other people and impact our communities.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Is there anyone else who would like to jump in here?
Yeah, Olofumi and Curtis raised their hands. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. All right. So I actually, some of the things I dropped have been spoken on, but I added one: mobility restrictions. And a lot of times when we talk about global learning, we think first of the virtual space, but not necessarily. Like, I just returned from the Mandela Washington Fellowship in the US, but we had fellows who were selected. I mean, they were recognized for the work they did and they got selected, but just because they couldn't get visas, they missed that opportunity. And the fellowship was a really transformative experience. And this plays out not just in today's world, like even within Africa, traveling to other parts of Africa is very expensive. So mobility restrictions, you want to travel to this country, you want to travel to another country, it can be a lot, especially if you're on the type of passport. So I think that's one critical issue that restricts people from global learning. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for adding that about mobility. This is our last question, so I'll just wait a few more minutes if anyone wants to jump in here for the last minute. But yeah, thank you all.
Yeah, Curtis and Nama raised their hands. Go ahead, Curtis.
Okay, perfect.
It's more like the financial barriers, because nowadays the programs like international exchanges, like global conference, and those online courses often have fees, and not everyone can really like afford them.
Nama, would you like to?
Yeah, so I do totally agree with everything everyone said. However, I do want to emphasize on two things. One of them was the visa restriction and the fees, because this is something that I did struggle with quite a lot when I was applying to anything. Coming to the US, coming to Michigan State was such a hassle for me, even though it was only one semester, an exchange semester, and it was such a hassle for me just to get the visa and to have to spend the time just to learn from another country. However, something that I did right as well was cultural and social norms. This is something that I did find like quite a lot in my society and in some other societies where like gender roles or parental restriction, even social expectations do prevent youth and especially young leaders from engaging in international programs, for example.
Yeah, thank you. Are there more hands up? All right, well, I think that's it then. Thank you so much for participating in our interactive session, and I hope you all found it useful and really gained something from it. So
Thank you, Adele. Yeah, we will wrap up these question answers and share with you. I think that is a very meaningful discussion. So as our Innovation Collaboratory comes to a close, we reflect on a day filled with creativity, connection, and inspiration. On behalf of the Center for Global Learning and Innovation, I want to thank you, presenters, youth coordinators, experts, participants, and partners for making this global gathering possible. It is now my honor to introduce our closing speaker, Dr. Opal Lehman-Budges, Assistant Dean for Global Learning and Innovation and Executive Director, Office for Education Abroad. Opal's vision and dedication to global learning has made this event possible. So we're thrilled to have her close our celebration. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Opal Lehman-Budges for the closing remarks.
Well, thank you very much, Luna. Today we've had the honor of hearing from 17 remarkable presenters representing 10 countries. These presentations showcased the diverse perspectives of young people around the world and the power of cross-cultural collaboration to shape the future of global learning. Our discussions were enriched by the participation of MSU faculty and staff from across International Studies and Programs, or ISP, and multiple colleges at MSU, including the Dean's Office, the Tanzania Partnership Program, College of Education, the School of Social Work, MSU Broad College of Business, and the MSU University Advising Area. The theme emphasized youth and the future of global learning. It highlights how young people are creating inclusive, accessible, and forward-thinking educational experiences across cultures and borders. And through your presentations, you demonstrated that youth are not only beneficiaries of global learning, but also leaders and innovators in shaping its future, bridging cultures, creating mentorship opportunities, and building lasting educational impact in your communities. The Center for Global Learning and Innovation, which I represent as Assistant Dean, is a dynamic new hub that reinforces MSU's commitment to internationalization and prepares Spartans to thrive in a globally connected society. The center brings together key global programs, fosters collaboration across colleges and departments, and expands opportunities for students, faculty, and staff to engage in meaningful global learning. Today's Innovation Collaboratory reflects this mission in action. The youth projects and initiatives we witnessed demonstrate the creativity, leadership, and dedication of global youth, showing how youth-led innovation is a driving force for educational and social transformation. Your work exemplifies the future of global learning, inclusive, collaborative, and impactful, both within your communities and across the world. So as we conclude this year's Innovation Collaboratory, I encourage you to carry the connections and inspiration from today forward into your work. Stay connected with the Center for Global Learning and Innovation for future opportunities to collaborate, share your progress, and access resources that support your initiatives. Your passion, ideas, and commitment to shaping the future of global learning are truly inspiring. So thank you for your energy, creativity, and contributions. Today's event is a powerful reminder that youth are not just the future, they are active co-creators of a better, more connected world today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Opal, for inspiring words. As we conclude International Youth Day 2025 Innovation Collaboratory, let's carry forward the spirit of collaboration and innovation we shared today. Together, we can create a more inclusive, equitable, and globally connected future for all learners. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at next year's celebration. We are going to post our videos on our webpage, and we will also share the certificate for all our presenters, youth coordinators, and experts. Thank you so much. Goodbye, and keep inspiring change.